Good morning, everyone. This is Ryan Etner with your Wednesday, November 7th morning market commentary. The grains look like they've pretty much set where they want to be in the wait-and-see mode for tomorrow's report. Didn't see too much activity yesterday. Probably expecting much the same thing here today, maybe a slight movement, but both corn and beans have shown over the last couple days they seem to be happy leaving price where they are going into the report. So what we're looking for is a 40 million bushel drop in the corn carryout. That's taking it from 1813 last month to 1773 here expected tomorrow. So like we said, corn has pre-bought this market a little bit. That factors in the 40 million bushel carryout drop. So it looks like we're pretty happy where we are. The next resistance on the March corn chart, if we do happen to get a surprise more bullish report, would be 390.5, the March contract. So if there's any upside tomorrow, that should be the chart level we're looking out for next expected resistance. We also don't want to forget that corn has run 3 weeks in a row of poor weekly exports. So we will get a fourth report tomorrow. Whether it's good or bad, we'll probably want to wait to see any reaction to that until after the USDA report at 11 o'clock. But we shouldn't forget what that says at 7:30 when that comes out early in the morning. We do need to see a pickup there. Another thing we can say is that even with the last 3 weeks of slow corn exports, we shouldn't expect any change to the corn demand numbers on tomorrow's report for exports. 3 weeks is still too recent to see much of a change there. Over in the beans, we are looking for a 0.2 bushel decline in yield, but trade is expecting exports to slow down enough to more than offset that. As a whole, that means we're looking for a 13 million bushel increase in carryout. Not that all that incredible, pretty much a minor report expected for the beans. And one reason why Chinese headlines are still outweighing trade here compared to the upcoming report is that the current thoughts are still that any trade deal reached with China, if it happens soon, would still make a 200 million bushel change in the bean carryout compared to the 14 million bushel we're expecting tomorrow. So obviously, Chinese headlines will still be number one, even more important than tomorrow's report, unless there's a major surprise of some kind. Over in wheat, most of the focus is actually on the weekly exports, even more than the USDA report. Last week, we saw 583,000 tons of wheat exports. That was close to the 600 that we mentioned you need to see to catch market attention. So now, all attention for the wheat will be, can we run another number close to 600 and start making a pattern out of this? So instead of looking like a 1 week solid sale, maybe we are picking up more sales, but like we mentioned before, it'll take a couple of weeks to be sure of that. Also to mention, the hard red winter wheat good to excellent rating came in at 51% back on Monday when 54% was expected, so a little bit of support seen there too. Over in cattle, last week's average cash trade was 115.25, seeing the small bounce we expected. Active fund selling was seen on Monday. It actually looked quite active, but then yesterday, hardly any signs of fund activity at all. So active selling on Monday, which appeared to be fund selling, and then nothing yesterday. Now, one reason that cattle may not have bounced back after not seeing funds here is that the show list was plus 15,300. That would imply a $1.50 lower cash trade. And with funds taking about $1.50 off futures on Monday, trade seemed pretty happy to just leave things where they are until we start seeing more cash bids and trades. So far on a Tuesday, news was slim, but what we did see was mainly 114 bids in Nebraska. That's pretty much what we would expect from that show list. There was late talk of a possible light 113 cash trade. Didn't hear enough on that to be absolutely certain, but we'll just mention that that is being talked about out there in the cattle market. So that's what we got here, waiting for tomorrow's report. If you have any questions, give us a call, 800-551-4626. Or visit us on the web, allendale-inc.com.